Hey guys, what's up? It's Mac, and I am here today with my very good friend Aaron.
Hey everybody.
I have known him for about 4 years now, and we have been wanting to do a video forever. Aaron, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, like you said, we've been friends for about 4 or 5 years. We met through a mutual friend back when you were in college. I'm a filmmaker. I make really low-budget movies. So my first movie was a movie called Clowntergeist, which is a scary clown movie. It's on Amazon Prime now, if you want to watch it. My second movie is called Curse of the Nun. That comes out on VOD and streaming next week.
So today we kind of wanted to talk about, Aaron was one of my, cisgender straight friends that I was worried about before I came out and told anyone I was trans. Like, I had, this huge group of like 20 plus friends that we hang out with constantly, and they're all, like raised Christian, Southern, straight, cisgender. Like, we didn't have any gay friends. Like,
no, actually, believe it or not.
Yeah. And so I was horrified. Like, if I tell all of these people, like, I'm going to lose literally all my friends, they're going to disown me, they're going to think that I'm a sinner, I'm going to hell, like I'm Satan, and so...
Which surprised me that you, when I heard that you felt that way. It was interesting to hear you say that, because the reaction was really different than what you thought it would be.
It was very different. That's kind of what we wanted to talk about, is because I had this, notion that that's what it was going to be like. And so I started out by telling, like, 3 friends, I think. Like, kind of spaced apart, and I was like, I can't tell anymore. Like, you guys can spread it to the rest of the people. Like, I physically cannot tell people anymore. I'm gonna die. And so, Aaron, tell the way that you found out that I was trans.
So, that's a funny story, because what happened was, I remember slowly you'd cut your hair. That was the first big thing. You had these long, curly locks, and you cut your hair, and started wearing big, baggy clothes. And so we thought, maybe she's a lesbian. That was our first guess, was that maybe she's a lesbian and just is afraid to come out. But we knew you were into guys. And that, you were like really into guys. Like even, before we knew anything about what was going on. It's like, okay, so maybe she's a bisexual, maybe she's lesbian. Regardless, we didn't care. But we were curious, and then I was sitting there, and I hadn't seen you in a while, because you had kind of vanished, because you were coming out, is what was happening. Little did I know, you were coming to, like, taking initiative. I am transgender, and I'm going to tell everybody about it. Because it was a hard time, it sounded like, because we didn't see you for a while.
Yeah, I was kind of, like, self-isolating myself for probably, like, a year, just because I was, like, so depressed. I knew, why am I going to even, like, hang out with these friends, because I'm just going to lose them. So if I slowly, like, dwindle myself off, like wean myself off of their friendship, like it'll be fine once they say they don't want to be friends with me.
Yeah, which was so sad.
I know.
Because so what happens is I hadn't seen you in forever, and one of the friends that you had told was like, Mac is coming over, and
there was like a group of like 4 of you.
Yeah, and I was like, Mac is coming over, and I was like, oh, who's Mac? And they're like, well, here's the thing, Mac is trans, and his name is Mac now. And the door opens and you walk in, and I'm like, hey, Mac.
Yes.
What's going on? And it was the one thing that I do think was weird, and I guess this is why I'm here right now, is that I'm never afraid to ask questions, I'm never afraid to talk about it. And so there was this big taboo. It was like, Mac's trans, and we're just not going to say anything about it.
Yes,
Because we wanted to be supportive, and in their heads, I guess that was being supportive, was like, accept you exactly as, and which is great, accept you exactly as you are, with no questions.
Yeah.
But I had questions.
I know, and it was weird because, like, everyone was so accepting once everyone found out. Like, they're like, okay, great, cool, let's call you by your name, let's say he. And of course, in the very beginning, there was slip-ups like, she and shit. But everyone's great about it.
Yeah.
But it was weird because no one was asking me questions. I'm like,
no.
Okay, they know I'm trans, but none of them know, like, what that means.
Well, I have to say, I didn't know what trans meant. Like, I had seen it on the news, and I've got several gay friends. And with them, over the years, it was just like, I just asked them questions, or they'd be like, oh, this is going on. I'm like, well, what is that? Or like, why do you feel that way?
Yeah.
Because they want to explain it to you. It's so much, education is always the answer, I think, with anything. And so I, in my head, trans was there with like going to an anime convention or being a furry. It's like we dress up because we get a kick out of it for one reason or another.
It's my kink.
Because that's kind of what I thought. I mean, I didn't know. I had no idea. And so I just started asking you questions like, first I remember just asking you why Mac, where'd that name come from? You explained it to me, super cool. and then it was like, well, what is transgender? You know?
Mm-hmm.
I think so often people think they're going to run you out of town, but more often than not, it's like, oh God, I've heard that on the news, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
So I just asked you, like, what's transgender? What do you need from me as a friend?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you did ask that.
I completely changed my perspective on what trans even was and how those people wanted to be treated. And because at the end of the day, I'm like, well, this is my friend.
Mm-hmm.
You hear so much about it on the news and the conversation, it's so inflammatory and so intense. But when it happens, you're like, well, it's just Mack. It's just you. There's nothing confusing or scary about that.
Yeah.
I think what I would suggest then, to somebody who might be coming out as trans, tell your cis friends how you feel about questions.
Yes.
Be like,
straight up,
ask me anything. Or you might be like, look, here's the scenario. I'd love to just move on with my life and live how I was meant to live.
Mm-hmm.
Because if your friends are truly your friends, they're kind of just going to be like, okay.
Yeah.
It's much more undramatic than I think people might expect.
Oh yeah, I thought it was going to be the end of the world.
Being completely shunned is very rarely an issue, especially with friends.
Mm-hmm.
I think people tend to see them more with families.
Yeah, for sure.
But with friends, it's like, well, I like this person because they're this person,
mm-hmm.
not because they fit my ideology.
But yeah, if you're afraid to tell your friends, for the most part, it goes
It'll be
over.
fine.
Yeah.
And it's probably, it's easy to get upset if one of your friends says, screw you, you're awful.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, if that's what they say to you, that friendship was going to fall apart one way or another.
Oh, true.
So,
yeah.
You're good. You're all good. Friends are the least of your concerns.
Who needs friends, girl?
Who needs friends?
Get out of here.
Get out of here! All of you!
Well, this is Aaron, my cis friend.
Hi.
And again, go check out his movie
Yes.
stuff.
Go check out my movies. My movie, Clowntergeist, is a horror movie. It's a lot of fun. It's on Amazon Prime. You can watch it for free. My second movie, Curse of the Nun, is going to be on YouTube for rental, Vudu, Amazon, hopefully Netflix sooner rather than later.
Yes.
Check it out.
So, if you guys want to see another video that Aaron and I are filming, it's called The Game of Things. It's actually called The Game of Nasty Things. It's the adult version. But
We're adults.
We're adults.
Right.
So anyways, kind of. Anyways, there'll be a link right here to go click or watch that video. And you should do it.
Do it.
Alright, well, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody.